We worked together, and we just pulled it off.
You've had some big games in your career, but this is as big as it gets. Do you have a sense before you start a game like this that, hey, I feel pretty good tonight?
I don't know. It's just going into the game. It depends if you get in the flow. I mean, warm-ups are usually the same, so I'm not sure what's going to happen in the game. You just go on and play. But once you're hitting them, you got to just keep on shooting it. So.
Well, now that you have a state title in your hands here, the Marshall fans have been such a big part of your success the last number of years. And when the game ended, your hands were up in the air, and the first thing you did is walk over to the fans and give them their thanks too, because they've been great for you.
Most definitely, our fans are the best. I tell you, they follow us. They get to every single basketball game. We have a home court advantage even when we're on the road, Jay. And that's a tribute to our fans. They were able to get it done for us.
Yeah. And it wasn't just you tonight either. You had contributions from a lot of other guys on your team too.
I mean, we knew it was going to be a team effort tonight. Last game we played with 5, but we knew we had to have some guys come off the bench and give us a couple minutes for some breathers. We knew it was going to be an up-tempo game, but we all knew it was going to be a team effort, so we just put our minds to it.
Well, and Jason, you've got the most mispronounced name in high school athletics, but they can't mispronounce state champion, I think.
No, they cannot, and gold basketball is real easy to pronounce.
All right. Congratulations, John Kroll, Jason Treitlar, part of the Marshall Cardinals Division III state champions. Back to Bob and Pat.
Jay, thanks very much, and congratulations to the Marshall Cardinals. Outstanding team. Let's check out those second half highlights. And Marshall starting out with a 14-point lead. And they start out the third quarter hot with Jeremy Kroll.
Right, again, twin brothers.
But then, as was addressed in that post-game interview, Lumberjacks scrapping their way back into it. Shukart, nice pass there. Right back in the other end.
Right, and brother again.
Goes Jeremy Kroll. Then Ryan Barfnick, three-pointer off the bench. Then Brandon Weimer, another reserve, hitting his shot.
Nice
run. A couple big three-pointers later. John Kroll was hot all game long. That three-pointer was big, helped stem the tide a little bit. And then another bucket by John Kroll.
What an unbelievable ball game. Set the record.
Ryan Efforts, a great basketball game in his final appearance in a Ladysmith uniform, stealing the bucket right there. Ladysmith making that run, but this helped seal it. John Kroll the steal and the layup. And Marshall goes on for the win over Ladysmith, the final 75-64. Your final stats, Marshall over 60% in the first half. Cooled down a little bit, but still 56%, enough to win you a lot of basketball games. Ladysmith, very respectable 41, but I think the way Marshall played tonight, Ladysmith would have had to hit about 60-65%.
That's right. And you take a look at the rebounds, 38-25. And that zone made a big difference in the second half because a lot of times Ladysmith got one shot at the basket. But a great basketball game. And, you know, somebody has to lose, but that's the only people that lost were just in the score. Both teams, great basketball game. And unfortunately, somebody lose and one lost and 1-1. And congratulations to Marshall.
Here are your leading scorers. John Kroll, a Division III state record, 36 points. Tony Miggins adding 19. E.J. Vaquero with 8. Ryan Efforts leading Ladysmith with 24. Sieg 11. Weimer 10. So a very entertaining basketball game. A lot of what we expected in the end. The height went out.
That's right, and they did a great job. And, you know, a super game. We're down one more to go yet tonight. And I'd like to take 1 second here before. I just had to my mom and dad in Menominee. They've been to come here. We did a special on my dad and my son last
Dad
year.
Jack, right?
WIA, right? And Mrs. Wood up Gilman, her first time she's missed tournaments in a long time. And Mary and John Betcher, both 79-80, could not make it because of health problems. So I wanted to be sure to hi to those people in Eau Claire and so forth. And it's been a great game. I think we're ready for another one.
Yes, we are. It'll be Fond du Lac and Madison La Follette for the Division I state championship. Pat, a pleasure as always working with you.
My pleasure. It was a great tournament, and we'll look for one more game.
All right, we will have that game coming up in a little bit, but right now, a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station.
And welcome back to the Kohl Center in Madison. The WIAA State Basketball Tournament rolls on from here in Madison. We've already crowned 3 state champs today, and we're getting ready to crown another. Fond du Lac, can they keep their Cinderella ride going in Division I at 16-10, taking on Madison La Follette? It's been a dynamite state tournament so far for Madison area schools. We'll talk more about that game in just a little bit. But joining me right now is Dr. Laurel Rudolph, the Medical Director of Sports Medicine of Marshfield, back again this week. We talked about the excitement last week. How about this week? How about this crowd?
Oh, this is a great opportunity. There's enough red here. Lucky we're playing in Madison, so everybody kind of fits in very well.
The seats are red, the Marshall fans are red, the Follette, Fond du Lac, all red. It's been a sea of red down here at the Kohl Center. Well, tell me about Marshfield Clinic, 15th year now as a sponsor for the WIAA tournament.
Well, you know, Marshfield Clinic is very proud to sponsor such a great celebration of our youth. I mean, we provide high-quality medical care throughout northern, central, and western Wisconsin. And I have to take this opportunity to salute our boys' teams that are down here.
Sure.
It's a long run for that gold ball, so I want to salute Rice Lake, Wisconsin Rapids Assumption, and Lady Smith. And I can't forget the Newman Cardinals, who did bring home that gold ball.
That's right, the girls last week, right?
Correct.
So often when we talk about sports injuries and trainers and that sort of thing, we talk about what happens after an injury, but you take care of a lot of business before an injury called preventive care. Tell us more about that.
The Sports Medicine of Marshfield is a joint venture between Marshfield Clinic and St. Joseph's Hospital, and with athletic trainers and medical staff, whether it's medical providers, we work with our coaches and with our athletes in the prevention of injuries. So if they're in the weight room weight training, we're going to A, make sure that they know how to lift the weights correctly, and B, also work on what's called their proprioception or their balance, something that's very, very important in a sport like basketball.
How about the Marshfield Clinic Science Award? Tell me more about that.
Well, Wassa Newman Girl Cardinals will know about that soon.
Yeah.
It's a $1,000 science award that goes to the state championship teams in both the boys and the girls WIA state basketball for support of their science program and promotion of careers in the world of science.
Last week at the girls' tournament, we talked about some of the unique injuries that you're seeing that are primarily for female athletes. How about for male athletes? Are you seeing anything new in the last decade or so that has kind of cropped up for male athletes that you're treating more of?
Well, you know, one of the most, actually, I think our injury prevention programs throughout the state, through the athletic trainers, which it's March is Athletic Trainer Month, that our injury numbers are probably going down in certain sports. Ankle sprains are still the most common injury across all sports.
Is it because athletes are better prepared, or from you guys, or are they in better shape, more well equipped to handle?
I think throughout the world of sports is that way we have a lot more scientific information through documented research. We now have athletic services at the schools, even sometimes at the middle schools, and our coaches are much more educated about the sports. Nutritionists are involved. You know, we have people involved in, you know, their overall health care, prevention, immunizations.
A lot of young people out there may be wondering, hey, if I want to be an athletic trainer, how do I get started? How would you recommend a young person out there, somebody at the tail end of their high school career entering college, how would you recommend them getting involved in athletic training?
I think shadowing is a very important experience. If you're really interested in anything, especially any healthcare career, go out and shadow someone who's doing it. Marshfield Clinic medical providers allow people to shadow throughout the system, whether it's just following someone into surgery or following an athletic trainer out on the field, to see exactly what you do. And obviously, you know, through college, you have time to change your mind.
You didn't, though.
Yeah, I think we all have somewhere along the line.
Tell me, when you send people out to different schools, are they paid or are they volunteer?
Our services are volunteer. We consider it a community service, and you know, we spend a lot of time more at the schools with the athletes, especially during their practices. It's obviously very exciting to travel with the team when they make it to state, but everyone's not that lucky.
Dr. Laura Rudolph, Medical Director of Sports Medicine of Marshfield, thanks again for joining us again at this state tournament.
Marshfield Clinic's again proud to sponsor this great celebration of youth, and this looks like another very colorful game.
I'll tell you what, you're going to sit back and relax, enjoy this Division I game?
Definitely.
All right, thanks for joining us again. Earlier today, we handed out 3 gold balls, and in Division IV, let's update you on some of the scores. It was Randolph taking care of Wisconsin Rapids Assumption 52-35. Josh Fisher, 15 points for the Rockets. Randolph wins their 3rd state title, and that game was followed up this afternoon by a Division II state title game. Madison Edgewood 62-38 over Seymour. A 17-4 run in the 3rd quarter turned it around for the Crusaders, blew open a very close game. First WIAA state title for Madison Edgewood. And in a game just completed right here at the Kohl Center, Marshall, behind John Krull and his state tournament record 36 points, beats Ladysmith 75-64, first ever state title for the Cardinals of Marshall. We're awaiting the start of Madison, La Follette, and Fond du Lac. La Follette coming in at 24-1, Fond du Lac at 16-10. Very intriguing matchup. We'll preview that in just a while. Right now, a message from our local stations. This is your WIAA network station.
The brain basically has 2 sides. The right side, which is the pizza side, or the left side, which is the sandwich side. Thanks to the revolutionary new Pizzone from Pizza Hut, the conflict between the 2 sides is over. Finito. No mas. Because the Pizzone is the pizza you eat like a sandwich. It's mozzarella cheese and tantalizing toppings, sandwich calzone style. 51 cubic inches of perfection. So big, we dare you to eat it alone. $5.99 or have a Pizzone party. 2 for $10.99. The Pizzone Revolution, only at Pizza Hut. Join us.
It's back. Vitesnik Power Sports massive spring open house. 16 days to save. Over $3 million in inventory, all marked at special open house prices. Spring into action with a Honda 250 4-Trax ATV for under $3,100. Vitesnik is your touring superstore with no money down and 2.9% financing. Get up to $300 in bonus bucks on our most popular cycles and ATVs. See why Vitesnik Power Sports in Richland Center is Wisconsin's #1 Honda dealer.
It's everything golf for everyone golfing. The Greater Madison Golf Show is coming to the Alliant Energy Center March 15th through 17th. It's a weekend filled with the newest golf equipment and accessories, including pro shops, courses, and manufacturers' reps, along with free lessons from PGA pros, contests, door prizes, and much more. It's everything golf for everyone golfing. The Greater Madison Golf Show March 15th through 17th.
Sponsored by Lutke Storm, Mackey Chiropractic, Lipton Brisk, and Channel 27. Go online at GreaterMadisonGolfShow.com for special savings.
The 87th annual WIAA Boys State Basketball Championships are brought to you exclusively statewide by Marshfield Clinic, a leader in medical care, research, and education since 1916. Menards is proud to be a sponsor of WIAA High School Basketball and wishes your team the best of luck. Save big money at Menards. Rural Insurance Companies, providing a full line of insurance products for Wisconsin's families and businesses. Milk from Wisconsin's dairy producers. Remember to grab a tall glass of cold milk at every meal. Got milk? The Wisconsin Education Council encourages you to stay involved and lend your support because every kid deserves a great school. And by Wisconsin's technical colleges, more vital to our state than ever before. Where would we be without them?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Kohl Center. More basketball yet to come. The Division I title game is on its way pretty quickly. It's Fond du Lac and Madison Follette to decide who will bring home that last gold ball. Joining me right now is Dr. Richard Carpenter, President and State Director of the Wisconsin Technical College System. And Dr. Carpenter, welcome to Wisconsin, I should say. You just moved here recently. What do you think of all this tournament atmosphere?
What a tournament. This is exciting, isn't it?
It sure is. You get kind of caught up into it pretty easy.
It's very easy. I don't know who I'm pulling for, but I'm enjoying the games.
Tell me a little bit about the Wisconsin Technical College System. What's it all about?
Wisconsin Technical College System is, I believe, America's best two-year college system. It's a system of 46 campuses and 16 colleges throughout the state, enrolling over 400,000 Wisconsinites and putting them into good jobs here in Wisconsin.
You mentioned it's one of the best in the nation. Is that what drew you to the Wisconsin Technical College System?
Absolutely. Just like the young man on the floor tonight, I wanted to be associated with the best. And I've been a president of two-year college for 20 years around the country, and in every state I've been, we've looked at Wisconsin as the benchmark, so I wanted to be associated with the best.
What is it that separates the Wisconsin Technical College System from others?
Well, one of the things is our rapid response to business and industry, the changing needs, the way that we are stepping up to increase capacity with healthcare professions, with public safety, with high-tech jobs, and particularly with the partnerships that we have with business and industry throughout the state, and training and customized training for them.
Moments ago, you touched on it a little bit, but tell me more about the reputation that Wisconsin Technical College System has nationwide.
Well, when I was a president in a community college in Minneapolis, we looked at the Wisconsin system and tried to emulate. We used that as our benchmark. When I went out to California, it was events and the happenings at Fox Valley that attracted our attention. And I could name individual colleges throughout the state that are doing and have been, remember our system was the first of its kind in the country, 1911. We started ahead of the rest of the nation, so I guess we should be leading the rest of the nation.
A long time ago, that's
Absolutely.
For sure. I'm told you have some research on the impact that colleges have on local communities and local economies. Can you tell me about that?
Absolutely staggering. We've had independent research done by a firm that concludes that we have a $3.8 billion impact on the economy of the state of Wisconsin each and every year. That our students, and for every 1 year that they attend a two-year college in the state of Wisconsin, they can expect to earn an additional $4,000 a year each and every year for the rest of their life. And remember, 90% of our students live, work, and pay taxes right here in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin, you bet. Now, every education system faces new challenges and hurdles and obstacles. What's next for the Wisconsin Technical College system and you guys?
We've got 2 or 3 challenges as I see early coming in. Number one, we've got an increased demand particularly in the health professions, particularly in public safety, which is a national phenomenon. But that's going to tax our system. It's going to make it a little bit difficult. We've got to step up and address that need and increase our capacity to do so. Another challenge that we've got is in the area of economic development, helping to continue to recruit industry into the area, helping existing industry retool their workforce, helping us to recruit those high-wage, high-tech jobs for the future. And go ahead.
You guys are busy.
We are very busy, and we're excited, but we got a world-class team.
Dr. Richard Carpenter, President and State Director of the Wisconsin Technical College System, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy this last game here.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks so much. Well, we're getting ready for that Division I state title game. Fond du Lac at 16-10, a Cinderella ride through these tournament playoffs. Can they keep it going? Madison La Follette will have something to say about that. Jay Wilson, Jerry Pettigrew standing by. And Jay, I tell you what, it's been a pretty good day for those Madison area schools.
Boy, a day like none other here at the state tournament, that's for sure. Randolph won Division IV. We just saw Marshall win Division III. Madison Edgewood takes Division II. And as long as we're talking Madison schools, let's start out with Madison La Follette. The Lancers have been very impressive this week. Although they've had big leads and seen them melt away, they've escaped with victories in the quarterfinals and semifinals. In the quarterfinals, it was 51-49 over Appleton West. And then in the semifinals last night, 62-55 against Wauwatosa East. You know about the Flowers brothers, but a guy that's really put his stamp on this tournament is number 40, Quincy Henderson for the Lancers, as we looked at the Menards points of the game, Jerry.
Yeah, and I think the one word that describes Quincy Henderson is smooth. Everything seems so effortless for him out there, you know. When he's a dunk, he's the same expression. You know, people will pump their fists and so on. Not Quincy. He just smooth. And he's a vital key tonight because I look for him to match up against the big boy from Fond du Lac, Ed Ross.
Last night, 24 points for Quincy Henderson, leading them to that victory. Now, the joke around the Kohl Center today was, well, I knew a Diener was going to be coaching in the championship game. A lot of people thought it'd be Tom Diener with Milwaukee Vincent, but it's Dick Diener with the 16-10 Fond du Lac Cardinals. They've got some contributions from Lee Greschel and Robbie Springborn this week that have been important to their success.
Last night, Lee Greschel hit the shot. Score was tied. He scored a big basket. That was the one that propelled him into this title game tonight. Robbie Springborn, he is the guy that makes the engine go. And against this pressure from La Follette tonight, the engine won't go if Robbie Springborn doesn't go.
Yeah. Recapping Fond du Lac's results in this tournament. In the quarterfinals, it was 52-46 Fond du Lac over Rice Lake. Division I semifinals last night. Fond du Lac knocks off Brookfield Central 44-39. How about that La Follette pressure, Jerry? Does Fond du Lac have the tools to handle it and help out their offense?
Well, you know, that's a tough thing to predict, Jay, because you can't simulate that type of quickness in practice. I talked to George Haas today, the Wauwatosa East coach, and I think that he gave La Follette the biggest compliment of all. He said, Jerry, we've played against quickness before, against Milwaukee schools. This is the quickest team we've played all year long.
And Fond du Lac comes in, hey, we've got nothing to lose. Nobody thought we'd even be here. Here we are. Let's give it a shot.
Yes, and Dick Diener, this is Dick Diener and Eric Nelson. This is their time. I mean, you're going for the gold ball. You can feel the electricity in the air. I mean, I'm excited.
Let's all get it started in just a few moments with the starting lineups. And now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station.
Big Mike's delivers.
American presents Tech Watch. The DVD player is changing the way we watch movies. You may not know that it's also the key that unlocks 6 channels of perfect digital sound, connected to a Dolby digital receiver and speakers, and voila, home theater. American knows home theater, and we've got the answers, plus dozens and dozens of home theater receivers, speakers, subwoofers, and packages. And American's got the answer to making home theater easy to buy. 0 interest financing till 2004 and a low price at American.
These businesses congratulate the Madison La Follette Lancers on reaching the WIAA state tournament. InstiPrint on Monona Drive in East Johnson. Quality ideas deserve quality service. We're there for all your printing needs. April Air, the best in indoor air comfort products. Designed to work with your home's heating and cooling systems. And Severson Service Center, always honest work at a fair price. Your complete car care center.
Big Mike's delivers.
Division I championship, Madison, La Follette, and Fond du Lac. Notable there since they went to the 4-division system in 1991. This is the first time in Division I a team from the city of Milwaukee is not represented in the title game. It's La Follette and Fond du Lac. Starting lineups. Here's Mike Mankey.
And now, here are the starting lineups for tonight's Division I championship game between the Madison La Follette Lancers and the Fond du Lac Cardinals. For La Follette, starting at guard, a 5'9" senior, number 23, Jason Flowers. And at guard for Fond du Lac, a 5'11" senior, number 24, Mike Millage. At guard for La Follette, a 5'10" senior, number 3, Terrence Jackson. And at guard for Fond du Lac, a 5'10" sophomore, number 13, Robbie Springborn. At guard for La Follette, a 6'4" junior, number 21, Jonte Flowers. And at forward for Fond du Lac, a 6'3" senior, number 4, Lee Grushel. At guard for La Follette, a 6'2" sophomore, number 22, Michael Flowers. And at forward for Fond du Lac, a 6'3" senior, number 12, Matt Sprader. Starting at center for La Follette, a 6'5" senior, number 40, Quincy Henderson. And at center for Fond du Lac, a 6'11" senior, number 34, Ed Ross. The head coach for La Follette is Eric Nelson, and the head coach for Fond du Lac is Dick Diener. The referees for tonight's game are Todd Gutzman from Oneida and Lee Kornhaus from Green Bay.
It's time now for the Got Milk starting lineups from Wisconsin's dairy producers. For Fond du Lac, they start 4 seniors and sophomore Robbie Springborn. Fond du Lac as a team shot 58% from the free throw line in the year, but they were 20 of 27 in the quarterfinal win against Rice Lake. Madison La Follette, 3 seniors, Jason Flowers, Quincy Henderson, Terrence Jackson. Jonte Flowers is a junior, and sophomore Michael Flowers has had a great week. 16 points in the quarterfinals against Appleton West, 15 points in the semifinals against Wauwatosa East. So we're set to go. Fond du Lac, Madison La Follette. Jerry, we talk tempo every time. What we got tonight?
Well, I think tempo is extremely important tonight, because if this turns into a track meet, then La Follette's going to win the gold ball. But if this game is in the 40s or the 50s, then I think that Fond du Lac's got an excellent chance to win this. Jay, one thing I think you got to watch for early is how Fond du Lac will handle that Madison La Follette press. That will be key.
Jumping center, Ed Ross for Fond du Lac. He wins the tip, but it's into the hands now of Jonte Flowers, Madison La Follette. And here come the Lancers with the first possession. Terrence Jackson with the first shot. Quincy Henderson the first rebound. Jason Flowers. And Springborn didn't get there in time, so it's a foul on Robbie Springborn. Fond du Lac.
That will be key, because Springborn is one guy they can ill afford to lose, to sit out many minutes.
Springborn's been sensational this week for Fond du Lac. Quincy Henderson. Rebound Ross, Fond du Lac. And he traveled, that time bothered by Jonte Flowers.
sometimes your feet just get, you know, when you got size 12, size 13 feet, sometimes you get tangled up.
A lot to move around sometimes. Dick Diener's in his 18th season at Fond du Lac. His record is 319 wins, 94 losses. Henderson kicks back to Jackson. Now Jackson gets it back. 2-point attempt. Rims out. Ross with another rebound. Fond du Lac.
You're seeing Fond du Lac's going to walk the ball up the floor as much as they can.
Springborn. Now into the hands of Matt Sprader, number 12. Blocked there by Henderson on Greshel. Here comes LaFollette. Now Jackson will slow it up for a moment. And Michael Flowers has it. Here's Jason Flowers. Over Springborn in the lane. No, and Ross has been all over the boards to start.
Third board.
Jason Flowers has been battling the flu all week. He missed the shoot-around on Wednesday. Battled through the games on Thursday and Friday, but head coach Eric Nelson said just before game time, Jason is feeling as good as he has all week long. 3-point attempt. Rims out for Greshel. Rebound Mike Millage for Fond du Lac. Still scoreless, a minute and a half in.
Fond du Lac likes to run a 5-man motion, all 5 guys moving, likes to swing the ball from one side to the other.
Sprader. And they're going to get Jason Flowers with a little hand check. That's perhaps a signal earlier that that will not be tolerated tonight. First personal on Jason Flowers. 6:19 left in a scoreless first quarter. Here's Lee Greshel working against Jonte Flowers. Nothing doing there, so he gets it to Millage. Wide open, great pass. That's Matt Sprader.
Great pass from Robbie Springborn. Jay, you're talking about a sophomore who really has matured like a senior in this tournament.
And Sprader made the nice back cut to get open and laid it in for 2. It's 2-0 Fond du Lac. 5:40 left first quarter. Michael Flowers will pull up from 12. That's short. Doesn't hit anything. Fond du Lac pushing a bit. Sprader again. 2 for 2.
They will take advantage of an occasional break if it's there.
Well, if you're going to get a good look like that, you've got to take it. That time Jackson traveled. Well, it's all going Fond du Lac's way early.
This is a great start for Fond du Lac. Another key matchup, Jay. Watch Matt Sprager. He's guarding Michael Flowers. Sprager's one of the best defensive players that I've seen in this tournament.
Steal, Jonte Flowers has brother Michael behind him, but Jonte will finish.
Really smooth to the basket, protected himself and took it to the hoop.
Well, that's LaFollette for all the things that have gone right for Fond du Lac. Boom, it's 4-2 all of a sudden. Lob into Ross, catch and score. Nicely done.
That time they tried to front Ross, and they got that lob. All he had to do was drop step it to the basket.
6-2 Fond du Lac. Jackson back to Jason Flowers. Gets a moving pick from Henderson. It rolls in. Wasn't a moving pick in the illegal sense. He was just trying to get out of the way. That's what I meant. 6-4. Sprader has all 4 Fond du Lac points. Goes behind the back. Steal. Michael Flowers. Greshel chasing. Block. Greshel. Foul. Lee Greshel.
Last 2 tournament games. And as we look at this replay, Fond du Lac has created over 21 turnovers in each game. And as coaches, you're saying to yourself, well, if we can keep it under 10, I think if Fond du Lac can keep it under 15, that's going to be good.
Here's Michael Flowers. We told you about his big week, and he makes the first free throw. 6-5 Fond du Lac. 2002 WIAA tournament is brought to you by Marshfield Clinic, a leader in medical care, research, and education since 1916. And not just points for Michael Flowers, assists and rebounds with pretty impressive totals, too. You're going to see a hard-nosed guy here, number 33, Nathan Brown. He spent more time on the floor than on his feet this week.
Yes, and I know that you were quite a track star yourself, and he's an all-state hurdler. But this guy looks like he spends a lot of time in the weight room.
Yeah, great football player for La Follette, too. Here's Greshel. Sprader. Gets around a double team. Millage has it back into Springborn's hands. And looking to feed Ross at the post. Over Brown.
Same play as before, only this time it rolled off the rim.
Now La Follette in a tie game with 3:26 left first quarter. Jonte Flowers 3. Rebound Lee Greshel. Jonte Flowers bothering Springborn. Flowers to Jackson.
Jonte Flowers just did a great job, and Dick Diener wants a timeout.
Madison La Follette's first lead of the game. It's 8-6 with 3:02 remaining in the first quarter. And watch this quick little pass. Jonte
just quick hands.
And that's the thing about La Follette. If they get it, they've already got somebody going the other way.
Exactly. And I think that one thing in the first quarter that we've seen a little bit, and I talked to Coach Nelson, he wants a controlled aggressiveness, is what he called it, because they were whistled for 41 fouls in the first two games. And Fond du Lac shoots free throws in pressure situations fairly well, so I don't think you're going to see that really hard La Follette press until maybe the second or the third quarter.
Madison La Follette shooting is warming up. They missed the first 5. Now they put a string together to take the lead. 8-6. Good timeout there by Dick Diener too, as that it can get away from you so fast if you're playing La Follette.
Especially this team. You're exactly right, Jay.
Under 3 minutes now, first quarter, 8-6. Madison La Follette on front. Springborn with it. Now Lee Greshel. Jonte Flowers goes for the steal. Can't get it. Now here's Springborn again.
Follette's being very patient with the basketball and what they have to be.
And a whistle inside. Foul Madison La Follette. Is that Jason Flowers? It is. Jason Flowers' personal foul. His second. So Jason will sit down for a moment and we will take a timeout. 8-6 La Follette. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Success on the court is built on hard work, commitment, and support. The same values necessary to make Wisconsin's public schools great schools. Great schools place students in classrooms that work. Great schools depend on great teachers and staff. And ultimately, great schools benefit everyone. Please support the investments and initiatives that make our schools great, because every kid deserves a great school.
I'll be working till the sun goes down. Done spent the time, another dollar bound. Sun goes down.
There's no way to describe the kind of risk a small business owner takes, but there is a way to insure it. Rural Mutual. We understand what's at stake.
Gonna be here, no matter how long, till the sun goes down.
.217 left, first quarter. Madison La Follette has come back. As Fond du Lac had the early lead, but now the Lancers have a 2-point advantage, 8-6. It'll be Fond du Lac's basketball, and Mike Millage will inbound for the Cardinals. Springborn kicks it back out. Near steal by Flowers. Greshel fouled in the lane as he goes to the basket. He'll shoot 2.
As you say, almost a turnover. Then Greshel made it into a nice play. Gets to the line for 2.
Number 22, Michael Flowers, his first, the team's third. At the line, Lee Greshel, shooting 2.
So Lee Greshel to the free throw line. He's had a good week. And makes the first. 2:11 left first quarter. 8-7. Madison LaFollette, so Greshel can tie it here. He does.
Jay, one of the things that you notice on the defense for Fond du Lac, they're playing behind the three-point line. They're giving them the three-point line to stop the penetration.
Jason Flowers missed. Quincy Henderson rebound. Now Michael Flowers. That runs short. Went to the left hand and missed it. Now Fond du Lac get it across the timeline with Robbie Springborn. Down to 1:43 in the quarter. And a foul out front. Jonte Flowers, his first.
Number 21, Jonte Flowers.
Now it's turned into more Fond du Lac's kind of game.
Well, I think the tempo has favored Fond du Lac, to be honest with you.
4th team foul on LaFollette, all against the Flowers brothers. Springborn. Now another close to being a steal for LaFollette, but it's a foul on another Flowers. That one's on 21, Jonte Flowers. So Jonte has 2. Jason has 2. Michael has 1 for Madison LaFollette. And Eric Nelson goes to the bench. Here comes Matt Capps.
This kid can flat out shoot.
Oh.
He's a great three-point shooter.
He didn't play much last night, but on the season, coming into the tournament, 51 of 121 from three-point range, 42%. Hit 10 in one game against Middleton.
And LaFollette has went to a zone. That's the first time in the tournament that they've played zone.
There's a shot by Millage. And Henderson now getting a few boards. Ross got him early. Henderson getting him for LaFollette right now.
Good move by Eric Nelson going to that zone. Trying to protect a few people with early foul trouble.
Jackson missed everything. And the rebound to Matt Sprader, who gets it to Springborn. Under a minute, first quarter, 8-8. Sprader is fouled. First personal foul on Nathan Brown, 6th team foul.
Jay, that means they're going to be in the 1-and-1 from here this point on until halftime.
Now, we told you that free throws for Fond du Lac, a bit of a difficult situation for them for a good part of the year, but Dick Diener instituted something pretty interesting. He says his guys have to hit 7 free throws in a row in practice, and they picked the magic number of 7 because that's how many games it takes to win the state tournament by going through the tournament series.
And coaches aren't superstitious or anything like that, are they? Coach Dieners wore that white sweater for 3 games in a row.
That's right.
I don't believe they're superstitious.
Now, Eric Nelson was telling me, you see, they were wearing white shirts with black pants tonight. Right. He said 4 weeks ago, they said, if we get the state, we're pulling out our white shirts and black pants. So it goes both ways, I guess.
Notice how far they're inside the three-point line. They're giving them the three-point shot.
Except for 32, Matt Capps.
Right.
23 seconds in the quarter. Fond du Lac is up 2. Sprader trying to get his guys fired up for this final run by LaFollette. They'll get the last shot.
Look for a penetration to the hoop, Jay.
Michael Flowers has it. Here he goes with 6. Hesitates, spins, fades. Got it.
Excellent move.
He's the guy that won the quarterfinal game, and he hits the shot to end the first quarter. We're tied at 10. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station. Back at the Kohl Center, start of the second quarter, tied at 10. Here's your game summary, sponsored by Wisconsin's Genuine Community Banks. Financial power right here at home, on the web at communitybankers.org. First quarter, LaFollette got 13 shots up and only made 4 of them, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, right now, I really like the Fond du Lac defense, but the one thing about LaFollette, they're used to shooting the threes. They've averaged 15 threes a game. So, and they make a lot of them. They shot 38%, so look for them to heat up a little bit.
Here we go with Fond du Lac in possession first. Springborn calling out the play near center court. Springborn cut off there, but now gets an opening and scores. Robbie Springborn.
When he gets in the paint, Fond du Lac can score.
And the Cardinals have the lead. Caps will try a three. Looks good. Little long. Henderson rebound. Caps. They're having Ed Ross come out to guard Caps now to make those three-pointers awfully tough.
That is an excellent move by Dick Dieter.
That's pretty good.
Because Caps is not going to penetrate. And he is a dynamite shooter.
And as we said last night, Caps has only tried, according to the statistics, only 4 shots within the arc all year long.
Sure.
121 from 3-point. Michael Flowers, you can't give him that. Missed it. Out of bounds off Jason Flowers, I believe. No, they'll keep it at the La Follette end. Inbound to Henderson. Jason Flowers, he'll try to answer a Springborn shot, but can't. Ross rebounds for Fond du Lac.
The defensive strategy right now for Fond du Lac, give them the threes except for Caps and make them drive. So far it's been successful.
6:53 remaining, second quarter. 12-10 Fond du Lac leads Madison La Follette. Again, they're looking to feed Ross at the post. He can't shake Quincy Henderson. Now here's Springborn again. Fond du Lac looking for something good. Sprader back to Millage. 6:30 in the quarter.
Notice how they're swinging the basketball. The old adage, swing the ball once, get a good shot. Swing it twice, get a great shot.
Sprader to Millage. Caps guarding him. This possession's gone about 40 seconds already. Now blocked there by Henderson as he takes Sprader's left-hander out of bounds.
It's very difficult, Jay, to play defense for more than 30 seconds with intensity.
There's Quincy Henderson snuffing this attempt by Sprader.
And as you mentioned before, so smooth. I mean, he just sort of springs off the ground.
Terrence Jackson returns to the La Follette lineup for Matt Caps. There's 31, Chris Saberlick. He replaces Mike Millage. So Fond du Lac leads. Cardinal basketball, 6:04 second quarter.
This is exactly the tempo that Fond du Lac wanted.
Here's Greshel. And that time it's taken away. Is it? Yes, it is. Flowers to Michael Flowers. Foul. It's going to be on Lee Greshel. He doesn't like it. But it'll go against Fond du Lac's Lee Greshel. No basket, no shot. 5:43 left in the quarter. Unauthorized use or rebroadcast of this program without the express written consent of WKOW Television Incorporated is strictly prohibited and a violation of U.S. copyright law. In for Fond du Lac, number 20, Sean Bartelt. There's La Follette, down 2. Henderson, baseline, got it. Quincy Henderson's first 2 points tonight, and it ties it back at 12. Springborn is triple teamed, now gets it out to Saberlick.
You have to be strong with the basketball, Jay, or they're going to take it away from you.
Bartelt in the corner. That's a three-pointer off the bench. Chris Saberlick. 15-12 Cardinals.
La Follette needs to hit an outside shot.
There's one by Jackson. Rebound Henderson again. And tied up. 44 Casey Wiest for Fond du Lac.
You know, you might say, how come Fond du Lac isn't boxing out better? It's hard to box out against quick kids.
Here's the last three-point shot by Saberlich for Fond du Lac to give them the lead 15-12. Now back to action. Jackson has missed a couple and missed another. Great box out by Sean Bartel.
Yes.
Fond du Lac comes away with it. Bartel needs help. Gets it from Weiss. Has it blocked by Henderson, but a foul. Quincy Henderson now has his first personal foul. Let's see what happened here. Watch number 40 on Weiss.
He got him on the hand. Yeah. You know, one of the reasons why I think that Fond du Lac could push the basketball a little bit, Jay, is when they get a rebound on the defensive end, they are being double-teamed and triple-teamed. And so if they get that pass out of there, they've got numbers at this end.
Casey Weiss gives Fond du Lac its biggest lead of the game. It's 17-12 Cardinals.
And they're basically saying to Terrence Jackson, we're going to give you the shot.
Jackson can hit shots. He's 54% of the field from the year, but he's getting farther and farther away each time. That one wasn't close.
And you know, you were a good shooter.
Yeah, I was a good shooter, but a bad maker.
Shooting is all confidence.
Yep. Yeah, when I made that one in a row, I was really, really hot. Inside, Saberlich is blocked. That time Weiss can't handle it. Weiss gets it back. Rebound to Flowers. That's Jante for Madison LaFollette. Here come the Lancers, down 5. Jason Flowers, jump stop, lost control, and Fond du Lac will come away with it, but that's another foul on Jason. His third.
That's key. That's key.
Now, with his illness this week, he spent some time on the bench, so LaFollette is used to that situation, at least the last couple of days. But they don't want Jason Flowers on the bench averaging 13 points a game very long. Madison LaFollette will take a timeout with 3:43 remaining in our second quarter. Let's see how Jason Flowers got that third personal foul.
He went into a crowd. Yeah. He went into 3 people, and they had the position, and it was a charge.
Looked like Springborn was the guy.
Was right there. But you know, this may be a blessing in disguise, Jay, because right now you've got Matt Capps coming back in. I think he needs to be in this basketball game for LaFollette because he really is a legitimate three-point threat. So you have to guard him.
Sure.
And so when you guard him, then it possibly might open Henderson or someone else underneath the basket open. Because right now, they're just packing it in and saying, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us from the outside.
It's an exciting night here at the Kohl Center for a lot of reasons, but in case you've noticed in some of our shots, it looks like there's a big crowd here. Well, it's the biggest. An attendance record, the first WIAA basketball sellout at the Kohl Center. 17,142 fans are here. You can't get a ticket.
That's great. That's great for high school basketball.
Now, they've sold out wrestling meets here quite a bit. The state tournament is one of the most popular events on the WIAA schedule, but 17,000 fans for a high school basketball game.
That's super.
Outstanding.
Jay, I know you remember back in 1982, the last time LaFollette won this state tournament, a young man by the name of Ricky Olson, and he led the Division I in scoring that year with 82 points in the tournament.
And he's still in the area, and he's been here all week. I haven't seen him tonight, but I bet you my bottom dollar he's here. Perhaps one of the greatest pure shooters in the state's history. That time Ross goes to the basket, he is fouled. Second personal foul. On 33, Nathan Brown.
And just a beautiful bounce pass. So many times people want to throw nothing but overhead passes to big guys. And the bounce pass is so effective.
Here's Ed Ross, 2 points tonight. He played at Stoughton before going to Fond du Lac. He says you just can't get to state and celebrate. You've got to play as hard as you can. There's always a lot of tough teams there, but people are finding out how tough Fond du Lac is this week. I don't know that they snuck up on people, but I'll tell you, you come in at the regular season 10-10.
That's right.
People have a tendency not to look at you very seriously, but they've been good through the tournaments and very good here at state this week. Foul inside. Fond du Lac 44, Casey Weiss.
And I think you're going to see Quincy Henderson get more touches on the inside, and I think you might see Matt Capps if he can get an open look on the outside. But right now, they've got a pretty good scouting report.
Try to run Capps around to pick. Michael Flowers fell down. Now he has the ball. Gets around Springborn, but loses it in the lane. They try to come out. Ball on the floor. Capps comes away with it for LaFollette. Michael Flowers, 3-point spot up.
Got it. And they needed that. That's the type of thing. In order to pull him out of that sagging man defense, they're going to have to hit a few shots from the outside.
17-15, Fond du Lac. Scott Swanson ready to come into the game for the Lancers. Now it's Sean Bartelt to Robbie Springborn. Again, a sophomore leading this Fond du Lac offense. Bartelt guarded by Jonte Flowers. Chris Saberlich hit a big three-pointer not that long ago. Springborn, Weiss, travel. I think he might have seen Michael Flowers flying through the air.
I think so. As they say, I think he heard footsteps.
7th turnover on Fond du Lac. 2:15 left in the quarter.
Some people have asked what kind of offense is Fond du Lac running, or Madison LaFollette. Now I call it the 3 Ds. Draw, drive, draw, and dish.
Nathan Brown feeding Henderson. Jump hook, count it. He'll go to the line.
That could be very effective for him, because I don't know if Fond du Lac can cover Henderson underneath.
Casey Weiss, 44, gets the personal foul, his second. And Quincy Henderson goes to the line. 4 points tonight. Big week for him. 15 points, 6 rebounds on average this week per game. Missed the free throw, though, so it stays tied, 17 apiece. And that's Sprader. Tries the baseline. He draws the foul. That's on Michael Flowers, his second. So back to the free throw line we go with Matt Sprader.
You see the baseline drive. A little bit of a push.
Yeah.
A little bit of a push. Usually, Jay, I think referees feel that, hey, we want to control this game right from the beginning. And so you're going to get a closer called game in the first half than you possibly might in the second half when they feel that everybody is kind of settled in.
Could be the toughest game in the state to call the Division I championship
no
game.
doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I mean, all the championship games have so much emotion, so much intensity. Division I normally has the quickest guys, you think. Henderson with that jump hook again.
All they do is they've been sending Brown to the top. That little bounce pass to Henderson underneath.
6 points for Henderson. LaFollette back in front. Minute 20 left in the quarter. Saberlich. Now Sprader working on Scott Swanson. Saberlich. Swings it open, look for Sprader. Tough luck, Scott Swanson rebounds for LaFollette.
They had a good look, didn't drop. LaFollette would like to get a 5-point lead.
Yeah. Capps missed. 2 LaFollette players going for the rebound. Fond du Lac foul. This one might be on Ed Ross. It is. His first. 7th team foul, so we go to the bonus. And here's Nathan Brown at the line on the season. 44% free throw shooter. 7 of 16 on the year for Nathan Brown.
He hasn't shot a lot of free throws.
That one's way short, but Brown, he's going to be called for the foul, I think, over the back of Springborn. Nathan Brown's 3rd personal foul.
It's got to be a worry for Coach Nelson, Jay, in that the fouls are beginning to mount up. And that could play a really important part in the second half.
Robbie Springborn's at the free throw line. 60% free throw shooter, makes the first. We talk about Robbie Springborn at the point. There was an article in the Fond du Lac newspaper detailing how difficult some of his season has been because he's a sophomore. Some of his own fans apparently were even heckling just the fact that he was a sophomore directing the team. So how hard must that have been? His dad, by the way, is assistant coach Roger Springborn, but he got through it. Now everything's fine as far as that goes.
Right.
But look what he's accomplished, and look what Fond du Lac has accomplished as a team, getting through all that adversity. And out of bounds to Fond du Lac.
Jay, I'll tell you what's so important on a basketball team nowadays is chemistry. And as you say, if you can work through some of the problems, and right now, you got to believe that Fond du Lac, this is the best chemistry they've had all year.
Yeah. Well, and Fond du Lac is a city that's used to having good basketball.
Yes,
there's no question about it. So the expectations are high no matter what kind of team you have.
Right.
As long as you start in November, you've got expectations placed on you. But what an accomplishment to be here. There will be the grousers saying, oh, 10 losses, this, that, and the other thing. Hey, Fond du Lac's playing for the state championship. Enough said.
And right now, they'd like to go in at halftime, either tied or with a 2-point lead.
This is Matt Sprader playing cat and mouse. Kurtrell Robinson is guarding him. Number 5 for La Follette. Now down to 7. Colin West has it.
The shot.
Good look by Sprader. Short. And that's the half. We started even. We're halfway through. It's even. 19-19. Message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station. As the halftime activities commence. Oh, there's that jump song. Well, I tell you, they play that at Badger football games, and I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, everybody starts jumping around like something big happened. But everybody seems to know what's going on.
That's not Willie Nelson, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
That's the Fond du Lac Spirit Squad, and their fans are enjoying every minute of it. Well, Jerry, before the game, we said turnovers for Fond du Lac, preventing turnovers for Fond du Lac would be a big key. You thought if it was in the 15 area at the end of the game, that'd be big. 7 at halftime for Fond du Lac. They're tied. That's pretty good.
I think they've done a pretty good job of taking care of the basketball. And I also think that one of the things is their defense has stymied La Follette somewhat, because they're saying to them, we're giving you the outside shot except for Caps. Yeah. He's the only guy that they're really on the outside. Everyone else, they're giving the outside shot. I look for La Follette. They got to go to Henderson more the second half.
Yeah. And La Follette, so much of this year, has had many games with big runs, big, fast, quick strike runs. They haven't really had any of that yet, so they must feel pretty good about, that's going to come in the second half.
Yeah, I think that they're going to pick up their aggressiveness now the third quarter, because they were in deep foul trouble, but now they can go back at them, with the exception of Jason Flowers, who has 3. And I really think that they need to speed this game up for them to be successful.
All right, 19-19 at halftime. We'll be back in a bit with highlights and stats, but right now, let's go to Scott Emmerich, who has a very special guest.
Jay, thank you very much. A very entertaining first half of play here in our Division I championship. Fond du Lac and Madison La Follette all tied up. We have some Fond du Lac school spirit joining me right now. Of course, most of us know him as the governor, Scott McCallum. And Scott, Fond du Lac here in the state title game. Does the bipartisan cheering go out the window here?
No, I'm very biased in this one. I'm sorry to say. I try to represent the whole state, but having played for Fond du Lac and knowing the family, many of the families back there, I'm cheering for Fond du Lac.
Has it been a little bit of a reunion for you, seeing a lot of familiar faces on the Fond du Lac side?
Oh, it has. Of course, Fond du Lac's one big family. Saw Dick Diener, the coach's older brother, coming in this evening. Mike Jelka, who I played with last night. A lot of the guys coming back. A lot of Fond du Lac fans here this evening.
Tell me about basketball. I know you still keep in touch with the game, and you got a little war wound there on your cheek.
I took an hour off this week. One of the guys, I would have gone after him, but he's a lot bigger than I was.
Now I'm trying to think what kind of player would the governor be? I'm thinking Governor Wisconsin, got to be a power forward, can go to his right really well, can scrape inside, take some elbows, but dish some elbows out as well. Does that pretty much describe your style?
It's the consummate team player. How's that? And competitive. I like to win.
All right. Tell me a little bit about extracurricular activities and sports. I know it's a very important role and something you very much back.
It is, and of course what the WIA is doing is something I think very good. They do a great job. Chickering does a wonderful job with the program. But you look here, look at the fans, the community spirit, all of the parents. I now look at it as a parent, how much time you put in, hauling your kids around to basketball tournaments, the soccer tournaments. And it really is a good thing. It's part of the academic upbringing, and I really think teaches a lot about life.
And tell me, I know your kids keep you real busy, don't they?
Well, they do. As I say, being a dad and having a job is a tough thing in itself. But anybody knows of sports nowadays, just the different camps, going around to tournaments. It takes a lot of work on the part of the whole family. But I look at it, it's good, healthy upbringing for the kids. Teaches them a lot about life.
We see the WIAA growing over the years, expanding in sports. That's something I imagine you're very much like to see.
Well, it is. Of course, in our day, they only had one division here. Now you've got all the teams coming down. We saw this year for the first time with the women's hockey coming in, the growth, the number of teams in hockey. A lot of people participating, a lot of people having the opportunity to understand what it means to work as part of a team.
And you talked about that a little bit. What do you take from your playing days of football at McAllister College into office with you? Do you take some of the qualities, some of the characteristics that you learned from back in your playing days?
Oh, it's very much the same thing. You have to push yourself at times. It takes that discipline. It also takes understanding how to work as a team. All of these things, I think, and of course, also understanding you may get knocked down now and then. You need to come back for the next day.
That's right. It's been a busy weekend for Wisconsin sports fans. NCAA tournament, Badgers, Marquette, everybody keeping busy.
It is. It's a wonderful weekend for us. And not only a weekend, but you look, when we've got 3 coaches, UWM, Marquette, Milwaukee, all named Coach of the Year in the conference. Basketball is doing very well in the state of Wisconsin, both men and women. You look at the number of kids going on to Division I and going on to play in college. So we've got good programs in the state.
Politics keeps you real busy, I'm sure, but how do you find the time? Do you find some time to separate politics and get out and get some good sports activities going?
Well, it's one is I try to get to my family, my kids' activities. And I probably made half to 2/3 of my sons' and daughters' games this year. So I try to set that time. If I don't set the time aside first, you never get to do it. I also try to work out a few times a week myself. Basketball being nobody cares what job anybody else has when I'm out there. Your skins and shirts, you lace up the shoes and you go at it.
That's the best thing about it, too. I imagine a real good tension reliever, too, for you.
I've known the guys for many, many years, and they could care less. I think one day they stopped and clapped, and that was it.
So you consider high school sports then more than just a game?
Well, I do. I think it's an important part of the education. I think it teaches so many things, and it really does, as I've said, brings families together. Family activities, but also brings communities together. You look this evening, La Follette fans, Madison fans, those in the Big 8 pulling for their conference teams. Fond du Lac, of course, you've got the number of buses that we had outside here tonight all hauled in. And I know when those who've seen the movie Hoosiers may know it came down between Wisconsin and Indiana, what they would base that film on. We've got that same attitude of community in the state of Wisconsin.
Real quickly, pretend you're Jerry Pettigrew a second. Break down this first half of action for me.
Yeah, the important thing, Fond du Lac, is you need to beat the quickness of La Follette. You need good, quick passes. Fond du Lac is doing that. They've got solid defense playing that type of discipline. They can't get into the run and gun game with La Follette's quickness.
Did you hear that, Jerry? I think your job might be in jeopardy. Guys, take it away. Jerry Pettigrew ready to call the action here in the second half.
All right, now politics is all about equal time. Jerry, tell us what you're going to do with the state in the next 3 years.
The governor was right on the money, let me tell you.
Oh, boy. Pettigrew will be running for something in 2002, I got a feeling. All right, thanks very much, Governor. Thank you, Scott. 19-19 at halftime. Tell you what, we're going to go right to the first half highlights between Madison, La Follette, and Fond du Lac. And we're going to start it off with Ed Ross, who rebounded well early and scored there.
Not flashy, but he gets the job done.
Now here's that little quick pass from Jonte Flowers to Terrence Jackson.
That's more of the things that you see La Follette needs to do.
That shot by Michael Flowers ended the first quarter, and then Quincy Henderson started taking charge in the second quarter.
I think we've got to see a lot more of him in the second half, Jay.
Chris Saberlick off the bench for 3 with Fond du Lac, but that's answered at the other end by Michael Flowers. And then just before the half, Quincy Henderson hit a couple of jump hooks, and that gets us to our tie score, 19-19, as we head to the third quarter. Let's take a look at our halftime statistics. Shooting percentage is pretty close. La Follette, 32%. They'd like to get that a little higher.
nothing really jumps out on you there, Jay, but I really think that the difference in the first half has been the tempo. It's been Fond du Lac's tempo, and that's been the difference in this basketball game.
And quickly to the leading scorers. For Madison La Follette, Michael Flowers with 7, Quincy Henderson with 6. Sprader leading Fond du Lac with 7. Springboard and Samerlick with 3 apiece. Tell you what, we'll take a timeout here and then be back with the start of the third quarter in just a moment. But first, a word from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.